The Geek Speak Show Volume 2 is produced and distributed by 22 Creations Multimedia LLC.
Well, look at you. You found one of the longest-running geek culture talk shows. This is the Geek Speak Show, Volume 2, featuring nerdy Navajo news with Sean Clenn, and now the Geek Speak Show Book Club. Here's the host of the Geek Speak Show, Henry San Miguel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Geek Speak Show. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Now, the countdown is officially on to San Diego Comic-Con. Hey, that rhymed. I wasn't even trying to rhyme, really. I just said that and I didn't realize till it came out that it rhymed. But seriously, this is your consider this your friendly reminder that if you're also getting excited about Comic-Con, about 2.5 weeks away as I'm recording this, but you haven't begun to pack or to get ready in any way, this is the week you got to start. Every year is somebody's first trip to Comic-Con. I'm sure this year it's going to be the first time for some of you listening to me right now. And so I want to talk to you guys specifically. Not that the rest of you can't listen. You're more than welcome to. But I was thinking about first-timers to Comic-Con for this year. And I said, yeah, we have the Countdown to Comic-Con episode. We do that every year. That's coming up the week of Comic-Con. But before we get to that, for today's episode, I want to give some advice, some tips, rather, to first-timers so that you can enjoy and you don't go crazy at San Diego Comic-Con. So a couple of things for sure that I want to tell you, you first-timers. The first, seriously, congratulations. Congratulations on making it this far. From waiting in line to get your badge, to waiting in line to get your hotel, to waiting in line to see how you're going to get there, whether you're going to drive or fly or however you're going to get there, to waiting in line to get an exclusive or some merch from Comic-Con. If you're noticing a trend here, yeah, waiting in line, get used to it. You're going to be doing a lot of waiting in line. I've always said, Comic-Con, you wait in line to see if you can be in the line to wait in the line. And everybody knows that. It's not, it's not a surprise. Everybody knows that. Nobody complains. Everybody's happy about it. That's actually how and where you make lifelong friends during Comic-Con. So get used to lines. There's one tip. Get used to a lot of waiting in line. So that's the first thing. But now that you're here, that's what I'm saying. Congratulations. You made it through the first phases. But now that you're here, 2.5 weeks away, the second thing I want to talk to you about, what now? Well, believe it or not, these next 2 weeks are actually the busiest time. Busier than what you'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con, honestly, you can look at it as the payoff. The work, quote unquote, happens right now in these next 2 weeks. Like I said at the top, if you haven't started packing yet, you better get started this week because the Comic-Con week is going to be on us before you know it. And you don't want to you don't want to throw in stuff that you really don't need and miss out on stuff that you do need. Talking about clothes and other things, important things that you need because you didn't pack this week. So start doing that. But what do you do? I mean, believe it or not, like I said, this is the most busiest weeks, plural, for everybody, for attendees, for panelists, even the San Diego Comic-Con staff. Everybody's, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure you're all set for Comic-Con. So that's what I want to do, like I said, for this episode. This is specifically for all of you first-timers to Comic-Con. I know there's a lot of you. Some of you are listening to me right now, so this is for you, especially for you. Everybody else, you can listen. You might learn some things. I know there's some veterans in here, myself included, some that have been there since the very first ever San Diego Comic-Con. Before it was Comic-Con, it was just a little comic convention in San Diego. You've been there to that one, so you guys know what to expect, what to do, how to get ready. But you might get a reminder like, oh yeah, I forgot about that part. So keep listening. Doesn't mean this episode is not for you, but in a moment. Let me gather my things to make sure I don't miss anything. And I will say, this isn't going to be a complete guide. There's plenty, and I'll show you where to go. But there's plenty of how-to guide, Comic-Con 101s, basically, videos, articles out there. I'm going to give you, from my experience, what I think you should take and I think you should be getting ready right now in these 2.5 weeks. So let me gather a list, check it twice, and I'll be back and let you all know, the first timers especially, how to enjoy San Diego Comic-Con.
The Geek Speak Show, Volume 2 will return after these messages.
Attention fans of horror and paranormal media. I invite you to pick up and read a copy of Eerie Expeditions magazine. You won't find interviews with paranormal TV celebrities or a retelling of the same old, "this place has been haunted for years" type of stories. Eerie Expeditions magazine is filled with articles about real people dealing with real hauntings. Founded and edited by author C.L. Thomas, Eerie Expeditions is your start to a supernatural frontier. Visit EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com to get a single issue or a yearly subscription.
In case you missed it, the Geek Speak Expo has been rescheduled to the fall of 2026. That means that the search for speakers and panelists is once again on. If you have an idea for a panel, you now have an opportunity to pitch it to us to be included next year. The Geek Speak Expo is an all-ages event, so keep it all ages appropriate. You know what that means. If you have to ask if something is appropriate, let me answer it right here. No, it isn't. We are hoping to feature panels highlighting independent films and filmmakers, books including comics and graphic novels, cosplay, gaming, video, RPG, and card games, and anything else that would interest a geek audience. Visit thegeekspeakshow.com for more info and to submit a panel for next year's Geek Speak Expo.
Follow The Geek Speak Show on Instagram @GeekC. The Geek Speak Show on TikTok. Subscribe to the show's official YouTube channel, Geek Speak Videos. Now back to the reason you'll care to follow online, The Geek Speak Show Volume 2.
Well, like you just heard, that's actually a good place to start. Social media. It's a very important tool to have during Comic-Con. Not just the weeks leading up to Comic-Con, but especially during Comic-Con. But let me start, like I said earlier, with some very basic, basics. And first and foremost, and those of you that are regulars, you've heard me say this forever. Comfortable shoes. Notice I didn't say new. And I know you want to get some new shoes to look fantastic for San Diego Comic-Con, but trust me, Comic-Con is not the place you want to break in new shoes. It just isn't. You're going to be standing. You're going to be walking. You'll be doing a lot of shuffling. You'll see what that is once you're there. Running. Okay, briskly walking. Running isn't allowed there. But you're going to be sitting, waiting for shuttles or trolleys. As you can hear, breaking in new shoes should not be on your to-do list for your first Comic-Con. If you already bought new shoes, and I'm not being funny, start wearing them right now. Change into them right as you're listening to me right this second. Seriously, you're going to thank me. Your feet especially are going to thank me the week after Comic-Con. So comfortable shoes, if that means Old Faithfuls, even if they don't look, they're not the cleanest, if they're not spanking brand new shoes, believe me, no one cares. Because everybody's going to be wearing the most comfortable shoes. Veterans know that. You'll see when you're there. So that's the first thing I always tell everybody. Comfortable shoes, for sure. 2 pairs if you have them, but definitely one good, comfortable pair. And if you did get new ones, break them in now. Now, the other thing, other than shoes, what should I wear? Well, comfortable clothing is also a must. Typically, it's hot. I mean, it's the middle of summer. It's hot in San Diego during that week. but it can and it will get cold in the evening and into the night. I have been there when it is blazing hot during the day. You almost want to jump in the ocean. Don't. It's right there, but don't. But it's that hot. Then we were waiting in the Hall H line. It was freezing, like I was in the North Pole or something. So be prepared. Be ready. Layers for sure. You don't need snow gear, but at least have something light to pull on when it starts getting a little bit chilly at night. Hoodies are perfect, or a light jacket. And yes, you can. Once you go into the convention center, you can buy something at Comic-Con, but be aware that some of the vendors that are there, maybe the t-shirt vendor, you're going to see the tower of t-shirts. You can't miss them. It's right in the middle always. You can get those, but a t-shirt's not really going to keep you warm at night. But you can get some things there. But keep in mind that some vendors, they don't bring stock to the booth. They'll have some to model, like, hey, look, this is this hoodie or this is this pullover we have, but they may not have it available there. You might have to get it online. And if that's the case, it won't get there. It won't get to it will get to your house, not to Comic-Con, I'm saying. So be aware of that. So because of, like I say, light jacket, a hoodie works fine. And while we're on that, how do you carry it other than in your arms if you want? A backpack, of course. Now, don't go crazy here. I know a lot of you like hiking, you go for a walk, you've been camping. Don't use one of those huge backpacking backpacks. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that are almost as tall as you are. You believe me? Well, number one, you can't walk through through Comic-Con with it on. And if you are brave enough to try it, you're gonna hit somebody because there's a lot of people there, as you can imagine. You've probably seen the videos, pictures. There are a lot of people in the exhibit, even outside the convention center. There's a lot of people. You turn around, or if somebody says, "Hey, look, there's Kevin Smith" or whatever, and you quickly turn around, you're gonna knock somebody out. You really are. If you're gonna be if you're gonna be using one of those big, oversized backpacks. So what I'm saying is, don't use those. Use a regular size backpack, light, not too heavy. If you can stand it, that's fine. Whatever works for you. But whatever you use for school or for work, messenger bags will work fine. Just as long as you can carry the necessities, and you also might want a little bit of space in case you get some exclusives. You will get some stuff there, mainly handouts or free samples. A lot of booths have been Costcoing it the last few years. Well, they'll get nothing big, but they'll give you, like a sticker or a button or something to remember them by. So you would just want to be able to just throw it in your bag and be able to carry it there. So like I said, it's whatever you use for school, for work, a messenger bag, those will work just fine. And you won't knock anybody out when you turn around or try to turn around, especially in the convention center. And you will get. Again, those of you that are going for the first time, you will, when you pick up your badge, even if it has been sent to you, you still got to pick up your lanyard, your program books, and your bag. Now, the bag, while it does look cool, it's a great way to show off your fandoms because it's usually Warner Brothers. Not sure who it's going to be this year, but it usually has graphics from a TV show or a cartoon or some anime or something. It's cool. It's cool to show it. But most people know they're really not made to carry things. You can try, but be aware that if you overstuff it or you put a lot of heavy things in there, you're going to hear this sound. And you can't use it anymore because the handles will rip off. So a lot of people they collect them, but they don't use them to actually carry things. Although I will say, they do work great when you take them on laundry day. It does work for that, but that's a whole other thing. But during Comic-Con, just be aware. Yes, you can try to use them, but they might rip. They're not as strong. So just be aware of that. But a bag, comfortable shoes, definitely things. Now, if you're going to be sitting on waiting for any panel, like for example, the biggest one, Hall H. If you're going to be waiting for the wristbands the night before, you have to camp out. There's just no other way around it. You got to camp out. If you want to go to a panel on, for example, Saturday, They're not there. They're not there this year, but usually when Marvel is there, they're on Saturday night. And so Friday, you just be prepared to basically lose all of Friday because you're going to be waiting in line the whole time to get the wristband to guarantee that you get into Hall H the next morning. So when you're out there in the line, or in really any Ballroom 20, for any panels, like I said, everything is lines. Be ready for that. There are these new collapsible seats. You can get it on Amazon. And actually, I think it still is. I'm not sure. Double check it as I'm recording this. I think the Prime Day sales are still going on. So check Amazon. And not only the collapsible seats, but start getting little things that you do need, like a lot of phone chargers, USB cables, USB hubs. Those will come in really, really, really handy. Trust me. Travel size toiletries, first aid supplies like bandages, lip balm, sunscreen. Don't forget, it is hot. Like I said, don't forget the sunscreen. That's important. Hats, visors, and the collapsible seats. Those are newer, and I like those because they collapse and you can put them in your backpack or just carry them. Be aware if you're going to be in the Hall H line. This is something that a lot of people aren't aware of, and they see pictures, especially you first timers. You see videos, you see pictures, sometimes from our own Instagrams. Hey, we're in the Hall H line. You see us sitting on stadium chairs or beach chairs. Don't take those unless you don't want them, because once you start moving, and especially the next day when you are going to go into Hall H, you're not allowed to bring those with you into Hall H. So either you've got to leave them out there somewhere or just dump them. And a practice that a lot of people aren't aware of, a lot of people either they just buy really cheap ones, find them on like Craigslist, or get it somewhere for free. It's ones that they don't mind losing, so they'll sit on them, they'll use it, then they'll leave it there, and the next people will for the next day they'll use them, and then on Sunday you just dump them. So don't take your fancy beach chair unless you're ready to get rid of to dump it when you're done with waiting for Hall H. Just again, another reminder and another reason to get those new collapsible seats. Those work much, much better when you can take them with you when you're done. Now, the other thing, like I said, chargers, phone chargers, and I know you all have your phones, and we on the Geek Speak Show, we've learned this the hard way over the years. You can't afford a low or dead battery because it never fails, and this has happened before. It's always I don't know why phones just know. They will die right when RDJ or Kevin Smith or an awesome cosplayer walks by, and you can't get the video or picture because your phone is like at 1%. So a disposable camera is highly suggested, not needed, but suggested, at least in case your phone dies or is recharging. That way you won't miss capturing RDJ or whoever comes by, or anything that happens, drone show starts or something happens. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss those memories, getting them on film at least. So disposable camera, not required, but highly suggested, because it's saved this. I actually bought a separate digital camera, not a disposable, that we always have on hand in case our phones are. And believe me, your phone will die a few times at Comic-Con. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and it gets a lot of use. So that's why I say chargers, but definitely highly suggest a disposable camera in case you want to get a lot of film memories. You can remember memories, you can remember things, but if you want to have them have pictures, again, disposable camera, definitely highly suggested. Now, like I said, I don't want to get too detailed with this, but let me see what else. You got chargers, disposables. Going over my notes here. Oh, going back to clothes. Plan, at least have, how some people on social media put their OOTDs, outfit of the days. Plan for at least 2. Nothing, don't get crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, but at least change of shorts, change of shirts, because you will be sweating. And everybody knows it, by Thursday, Friday, you'll start smelling the con funk. It just comes with it. It's not exclusive to Comic-Con. Every convention has this. Every big gathering, especially one like that, has it. So if you if you get uncomfortable in sweat-drenched clothes, again, just have a change of outfit and dip into the. There's a lot of bathrooms there. Dip in there, change your shirt, and you'll just feel better. So carry that again while you need the backpacks. The other thing is, well, this is more about the convention itself rather than something that you really need, but it's something that any Comic-Con veteran will tell you. It's a cold, hard fact of San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm not being funny. You need to know this, but especially you need to accept this because it's, again, cold, hard fact. You are not going to be able to see everything you want to see at a Comic-Con. Especially, like I mentioned a minute ago, the Hall H panels. Everybody knows, those, especially the Marvel ones, those are the big things. Those are the big ones. Everything that happens in Hall H. With no Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers, and other major studios not being there this year, it might be a little bit easier to get in the Hall H. But trust me, I've been there many years before when Marvel hasn't been there or DC hasn't been there. Just because either one of those aren't there, not going to make a difference. I'm telling you right now, there are still some pretty big panels and fans will line up a day before to get the wristbands. The point is, make sure you always have a plan B through Z for each day you're going to be there at the con. So I know you want to see, well, they're not there again, but I know you want to see the Marvel panel, but as much as it's going to hurt, you're there and you're not going to see the Marvel panel. Have a backup. And don't let that backup be, well, I can watch the panel after or before the Marvel panel. You're not going to get, if you're not in Saturday morning, you're not getting into Hall H. I can guarantee you that. So have something in Ballroom 20, Indigo, in the convention center. Go visit off-sites. Go get something to eat. That's important. Eat during the convention, even if it's just convention food. But if you get a chance to go across and get go into a restaurant and get real food, do so. Stay hydrated also is also important. I think we all know that anyway. But always have a plan B through Z. And do not, I know it's hard, but do not get upset if you don't make plan B, C, D, E, or F, because G, H, I may be there for you. Always have a backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. That way, you don't feel depressed because you couldn't get into Hall H or Ballroom 20, or you couldn't get into the panel that you wanted to see, but you at least get to experience something else. So, I mean, that is, every veteran can tell you this. That is a cold, hard fact and something that you have to accept. You will not see everything that you want to see at San Diego Comic-Con. And it's okay, because at this point, if you go there multiple years, you kind of accept that you're not going to that. Or if you really, really want to make Hall H, you're going to lose at least one, potentially even 2 days of the con just waiting in line to be able to get into Hall H or to get the wristbands for Hall H. So be aware of that. It's very important that people have to learn the hard way sometimes that, hey, I can't get into it. Now, I will say, if you haven't used it yet, take a look at the official Comic-Con app. They do have it's a feature called My Schedule. And I've never used it, but I've met people, attendees, that actually do it. And at least the way they set it up, it's pretty cool. Looks pretty easy to use, and you can do exactly what I just said. You can put call it My Schedule Friday, My Schedule, whatever day or whatever you want to call it, and then just put in only the panels that you want to see and some alternatives. And so in case you can't make one or two or three, like I just said, then you have other ones to go to. That way you're not lost and kind of like Stitch. I'm lost. Where do I go? Because you don't want to be lost at Comic-Con. Trust me. So that it's on the Comic-Con app, the official app. It's called My Schedule. You can use it there. It's also on the you can use it through the website. I think it's there also, but definitely it's on my app, and it's very easy to use. So that'll be there. Also, actually, while you're on the app, or more specifically, while you're in your member ID, the exclusives portal is, think open or about to open as I'm recording this. Exclusives portal is when you go to, especially on preview night, when you're going to see a lot of lines at like the Mattel booth, Hot Wheels, Lego, a lot of the Funko for sure. You're going to see a lot of lines there, and you're going to wonder, what are they selling or what are they giving away? Well, they're not giving away anything. They're not selling anything, but if they are, they're Comic-Con exclusives for that year. Now, you can only get those if you sign up ahead of time, if you reserve a spot ahead of time, and you just go there and pick up, either pick up and pay, or if you can pay it online, you just pick up whatever the exclusive is. This year, for example, one that a lot of people are talking about is the Mattel. Mattel has a few exclusives this year, but one big one is the Jurassic Park exclusive, where you have the dinosaur basically eating and chomping through the San Diego, a replica of the San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of people are going to want that, so when the portal opens, you're going to have to sign up for it, and you can sign up for, I think you're allowed to get 2, and it's like a credit system, and you got to get 1 per day, like 1 for preview night, 1 for Thursday night, and so that's the only way. You can line up without doing it, but chances are pretty good that you're not going to be able to get the exclusive unless you reserved it before, because it's the people that reserve it, they get first dibs, and it might sell out before they start selling it to the people that just lined up. So be aware of that. The exclusives portal, you get to it through your member ID. It should be on the top menu. It should say, strangely enough, exclusives portal on there. So that's how you get to that. What else? Well, I mean, that's basic. Like I said, it's not a lot. I'm not going to get into a lot of details, like I said, but there's a lot of things that are happening at Comic-Con. Those are the very basic things that you should be worrying about right now in the weeks leading up to Comic-Con. Some of these things I told you are at and during Comic-Con, but the first thing that I told you, the most important, seriously, comfortable shoes. I mean, a lot of people laugh when they hear me say that. But after you go to your first Comic-Con, you experience your first Comic-Con, believe me, you thank me. Because I bought these brand new shoes and my feet were killing me before the first time. Yeah, Comic-Con is not the place you want to break in new shoes. Trust me. So, comfortable shoes for sure is what you want to do. What else? So I mean, that's pretty much all the stuff I have here. Let me, of course, the air conditioner blows it away. Let me get my notes, double check them. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to share to all you first timers. Now, there's one more thing that a lot of people don't know about unless you listen to the Geek Speak show. One more thing one more tool, if you want, that you can use, and that's me. Just don't call me a tool, but you can use me as a guide, rather. Over the years, 15 years doing the Geek Speak show, every year I meet first-timers, first-time listeners, and first-time attendees to San Diego Comic-Con. And we've given them the This is Comic-Con tour, if you will. And it's nothing special. I don't charge anything. It just, I love seeing people's faces when they first see Comic-Con, when they first see Hall H, when we walked in with some first-timers to Hall H, and I like walking in front of them without falling and videoing them sometimes because it's just a once-in-a-lifetime experience, your first time in Hall H. So I like seeing things like that. I also tell you little secret areas that we know of that I don't say publicly, where if you need to get away from the crowd and you just need to cool down at a quiet place, I know a few. So we can tell you that. So if you see me there, I mean, you can't miss us. We'll have the Geek Speak shirt. Come up and say hi and ask me like, hey, can you show me, whatever, where's this? Where's one of your secret spots? I'll be more than happy to show you around, hang out with you for a little bit. If you're there by yourself for the first time, definitely come and say hi and we'll show you around because it can be very intimidating being there by yourself for your first ever San Diego Comic-Con. You can also email me, DM me on Instagram. If you do it during the con, I will say, it might be harder to respond because, as you can imagine, everybody's using the internet, so it's going to be a little bit slower. So it's easier if you get a hold of me like now, the week before Comic-Con, and we set up a time like, hey, let's meet up at, outside Hall H or outside the convention center or here or wherever. But you can always feel free to, like I said, come say hi to me. I'm not one of those like don't touch me. Do you know who I am? I don't care. I love hanging out with the listeners and with people that Comic-Con fans just like me. So there's also me. You can do that. You can message me through email. Henry@thegeekspeakshow.com is the email. So if you want to use the email, some of you can DM, but most of you like emailing. This audience is more of an email audience for some reason, so that's the email. You can email me there too. But you have that also. So there is, like I said, the basic of basics. There is one more thing. Going to wrap up the episode, but before I do, one more thing that you can put in your backpack or on your device, and that's for when you're waiting in line or or you need to get away for a little bit and just relax. Perfect way to relax is like this.
This is the Geek Speak Show Book Club. In here, you'll find books new and old, comic books, graphic novels, anything you can read which will interest you if you like this show. Welcome to the Geek Speak Show Book Club.
Like I said, you can have an actual book or you can have it a Kindle version, an ebook version on your device. And this is a pretty perfect book. It's called See You at San Diego, an oral history of Comic-Con, fandom, and the triumph of geek culture. It's by Matthew Klickstein, and it came out in, I believe it was 22. Yeah, back in 22. Basically tells not just the history of San Diego Comic-Con. It covers a little bit of that, but also talks to a lot of very important people in geek culture, like Neil Gaiman, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Hunter S. Thompson, David Bowie's in this. Kevin Smith has articles, little observations, reflections on things from Ray Bradbury to Stan Lee, The Twilight Zone to Twilight, Star Trek to Star Wars, Mad Magazine to Watchmen. Frank Miller's in this, Bruce Campbell, Felicia Day, Stan Sakai, Sergio Aragones, Trina Robbins, the Russos, Lloyd Kaufman. A lot of people that some have been here on the Geek Speak show, but it's definitely something fun and keeps the mood, keeps the vibe, as the kids say, while you're at Comic-Con. You're reading the book about Comic-Con. Again, it's called See You at San Diego, an oral history of Comic-Con fandom and the triumph of geek culture. You get that on Amazon or anywhere you get, wherever you get books, which is usually on Amazon nowadays. So it's available there. In fact, I'll put a link to that on the book club section on the website. So there you go. That's the episode. I hope that helps you, first-timers especially, prepare for San Diego. Now, be sure to listen to our annual Countdown to Comic-Con episode on Comic-Con week, Monday the 21st, I think it is. It'll drop that Monday, so that will be more detailed. It'll tell you about, specifically about panels that will be there. Of course, we kick it off with David Glanzer from San Diego Comic-Con, so we'll have our usual, our annual conversation about Comic-Con and what's to come for Comic-Con. There's actually some, you'll see. So that episode is going to get you ready specifically for that, and then it'll drop the Monday of San Diego Comic-Con week. I'll be back next week to speak more geek. Make sure you be here.
While you wait for next week's episode, you can visit the show online at thegeekspeakshow.com. There, you'll find links for the guests, info about Henry and Sean Clegg, and links to all of the show's social media. Tell your friends that there's a show out there that doesn't hate everything and still finds the fun in anything that we read, watch, or experience. Henry and Sean Clegg will be back next week. But if they're not back by dawn...
Okay, you people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. If we're not back by dawn, call the president.
The Geek Speak Show, Volume 2, was produced and distributed by 22 Creations Multimedia, LLC.